What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Now you'll notice I'm actually not wearing a wristwatch, and I have a bit of a wristwatch tan, and I have some tools in front of me for measuring things and for opening things, and that's because I'm very excited to announce we are unboxing my very first Orient wristwatch. I've never owned an Orient. I've heard good things. I've worn them before. I've seen them in person before. Everyone that owns one is just ecstatic about it. And I've actually mentioned the watch in this box multiple times on this channel. A few of my buddies in the watch collecting world own this watch. They speak very highly of it, and like I said, I've actually recommended it on my channel before, but I've never owned one, so it's time to see the hype firsthand. And I've actually already opened the box this box came in, but I haven't seen the watch in here yet. So we're going to use this caliper later. We're going to look at all the specs, but I'm very, very excited. So let's go ahead and get into this box. And for the first time ever, this is kind of blasphemous that I'm doing this. I'm not wearing a wristwatch, so we're gonna tell time using my iPhone. It's 1:34 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okay. So it's pretty standard box, this kind of looks like a Seiko box, and shouldn't be too crazy because Seiko does own Orient, but has some nice sheen here, some silver metallic lettering. This was scuffed up a bit inside the box that Amazon sent me because I did buy this on Amazon. Link in the description below to my Amazon store. Ooh, okay. There's some more paperwork in here. Guys, I am not much of a booklet paperwork guy. Okay, here's the international guarantee. This is, mechanical watch, automatic and hand winding mechanism. Okay, so that has some setting functions and different languages, tell you how to use the watch. All right, so this is pretty cool, actually. So Seikos typically come in a blue box, kind of cardboardy. This has some rivets on each corner, has some kind of grained metal here. It looks like a little sheet of probably aluminum. Has their crest. Oh, I'm so excited to look into this box. Okay, let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Let's make sure you are in focus here. So this, guys, is the Orient Defender. Now, I went for the reference number. Let me make sure I get it right. It says right here on the hang tag, FET0N002K0. That's right, Orient, their reference numbers are much longer than Seiko reference numbers. But that reference number just denotes that this is the gray dial variant, okay? They make this watch, I believe, in black, olive drab, gray, and blue. There might be another one. We'll have pictures on screen as I mention it. But for me, I just thought that the gray dial, kind of this almost matte gray, was just much more unique than any of the other watches. And I actually don't currently own a gray dial watch. I don't think so. And just come on, look at this watch. It's just such a unique dial layout. Everything looks very visible. There's just so much I like about this watch when it comes to the visual aspect and the specs themselves. And we're gonna talk about that in a moment. First, I bought this watch for around $140 on Amazon, and that's pretty darn inexpensive for what you're getting, in my opinion. Now, again, I literally just took this out of the box for the first time ever a second ago. So time will tell how much I end up enjoying this watch. But just from a mere, spec standpoint, there's a lot of bang per buck here. But again, let's go over the specs. All right, guys, so as we take a look at the specs on this Orient Defender, I figured we should start off by talking about the movement. Now, guys, this movement does have a few quirks, and for someone potentially looking at buying one, they could be maybe a deal breaker. We'll talk about it. So this watch is powered by Orient's Caliber 46B40 21 joule automatic movement. It's got a date, a day, and a 24-hour dial. Now the first thing I really like about this watch is that it does have a threaded crown. It's not the smoothest, but it's not the worst. So here, let me play with it a little bit more. So to compare it to, my Seiko SKX, it feels smoother than my SKX, but not as smooth as like my Boulder Expedition. So it's not the best, not the worst. Not a total turnoff though. Now let's feel the crown settings. So 2 settings, the crown is pulled all the way out. You'll notice the second hand is still moving, which means this watch does not have hacking. Let's push the crown in. I don't feel any type of resistance or clicking whatsoever, so this watch does not have hand wind either. So no hacking or hand wind on this watch. I know a bunch of people are gonna immediately be turned off by it. I can overlook that. The first real thing that would bother me about this watch though, that I didn't realize until I bought it, is that the date, if we pull it out one setting, the date is quick set, okay? So we can move the date. But then when we move the crown the other way, nothing happens. The day is not quick set. So right now it's Wednesday. So we're gonna have to pull the crown all the way out and go all the way around to get to Wednesday. So let's do that right now. Gato, my editor, I don't know if you want to speed through this or if we're just gonna keep it going to show how frustrating that is. Okay guys, so as I said, it is Wednesday at the time of filming. So what I like doing when I set my watches complications is I like going to the day before. Okay, so it's Tuesday here. And, or I should say it's Tuesday on the clock, and it's the 20th. Well, today, at the time of filming, it's the 4th. So what I like doing is taking it to the day before. So we're gonna take it to the 3rd. Now, as I do this, pay attention to this 24-hour dial. Because if I've done everything right, once it reaches AM, boom, switched to Wednesday the 4th, which is the correct date for the time of filming. So right now we are in the PMs, 12. And again, it's sacrilegious for a wristwatch channel not to be wearing a watch, but I've been anticipating wearing this one. According to my iPhone, it is 2:09. So we're going to go ahead and set the clock 2:09. All right, so that process wasn't too arduous, but I could see that being a turnoff for someone that, wants more quick set capability, excuse me. But okay, we have the proper time. We understand a little bit more about the movement. Let's talk about the measurements. All right, dudes and dudettes. Now here is where my handy caliper tool comes into play. Link in the description below to where I sell these at my Amazon store. Guys, I run a vintage shop, so I'm measuring watches all day, every day as they come into the office. But even for a watch enthusiast, this is a lifesaver, and this is, the most inexpensive one I could find. I think it's like under $10 on Amazon right now. So okay, it's about, let me see, press it forward, 42 millimeters in diameter. Now let's see the lug to lug, because the lug to lug is much more important of a measurement. If you want to learn about all the important measurements, how to measure your watch, click up here. I made an episode talking about that for the new collectors. And it's got about a 47.8 millimeter, let me see. Oh, okay, 48 on the button millimeter lug to lug. And let's see how thick it is. About 11.7 millimeters thick, so not super duper thick, especially for an automatic watch. That's perfectly fine. Now let's go ahead and look at the lug width. See what kind of straps we can put on here. 22 millimeters on the button, so 22 millimeter straps. Now, speaking of the strap on this watch, the second I pulled it out of the box, that's like one of the most impressive things about this watch. I mean, look at how supple it is. Seiko, whenever I buy Seiko watches, their straps typically out of the box make me want to vomit, so I immediately change them out. This is an incredibly supple strap out of the box. It looks to be, let's see, okay, genuine leather. Let me get you in focus. But man, this is very, very soft. I'm probably not going to wear it on this strap though, because I want to use this as a field watch. I mean, come on, it's the Orient Defender. And I'm probably going to use this as like my Jeep watch, my camping watch. But boy, if you aren't really one to change straps, or if you don't really care, or if you like the way this looks, this would be a fine strap choice. So good job, Orient. I mean, for 140 bucks, for this watch to come out of the box with a better strap than most Seikos that are more expensive than this, that's just crazy. So good job, Orient. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the watch on my wrist for the first time ever, but this hang tag has got to go. So we're gonna use my trusty Opinel. Love Opinel knives, and you can see this has been through some stuff with me. I mean, come on, look. That's the way it should be though. We're gonna take this, boom. Dunzo. And yeah, let's put it on the wrist. I'm very excited. My first ever Orient going on my wrist for the first time ever. And I'm bringing you guys along with me. Let's take a look. Look at that. That is gorgeous. We have some signage here on the buckle. So I have 7.5-inch wrists, a little bit above 7.5-inch wrists. Again, throw up the lug-to-lug measurement. I already forgot it. I believe it was around 48 millimeters lug-to-lug. And yeah, that is a very highly visible, very legible watch. Now, typically, I like symmetry in my watches. This is a very asymmetrical dial layout, but still it is incredibly visible, incredibly legible. These gorgeous applied bold indexes. I love how there's a little bit of a pop in reflection when it comes to the Orient logo, that crest there. I love how I can see the day on its own dedicated dial, the date down here by the 6 o'clock. Now, this is 2020 at the time of filming. Orient has already introduced their Defender 2, the Orient Defender 2. I do not like that watch, okay? They moved the crown from the 4 o'clock position to the 3 o'clock, and they changed the date window. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, guys. The date window at the 6 o'clock is perfect. That's where it should be. Why? They mucked it up and they made it look really boring. So guys, if you're interested in an Orient Defender, do not get the Orient Defender 2, get the Orient Defender. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, so I took the watch off my wrist so that we could explore it a little bit further. The case back, just because this is a review and I want to show it to you. Nothing really going on here except for some engraving here. It says Orient with the crest, Orient sticker that I'm going to remove. Screw down case back, that's all fine and dandy. Let's talk about the crystal and the lume. I want to test the lume. All right, so the crystal. I'm already bracing myself because I know people are going to rage in the comment section. I think it is a true mineral crystal. They're not using Hardlex to my knowledge. I think some Orients are using Hardlex crystals. I don't think this one is a Hardlex crystal. And I know people are gonna complain, oh, if it's a real field watch, if it's a tough watch, it's gotta have sapphire. Guys, it's a $140 watch, and when you consider everything else this watch has, a date complication, a day complication, a 24-hour dial, an in-house automatic movement, a threaded crown with a 100-meter water resistance rating, that's a whole lot, and I'm okay with them cutting some cost to the consumer by giving us a mineral crystal. It's not the worst thing in the world. Again, you gotta look at these watches from the whole package, from the entire package, from everything that you're getting. It's still a whole lot of value here. But let's talk about the lume. Okay, so here's the moment I've been waiting for, at least, because this watch has huge, big, broad hands and big, bold indexes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lume. Again, high hopes here, and it is not disappointing. Look at that. So guys, I said earlier, I don't think this watch is using Seiko Hardlex. I do think it is using Seiko's proprietary Lume-Bright, though. So that is good to see. I'm very happy about that. The lume looks great, looks very vibrant, very bold. I don't know how clearly it's going to be showing up on camera, but that looks amazing. And yeah, that is absolutely not disappointing. So they took advantage of those big, bold, that big, bold handset and those big, bold indexes. There's a whole lot of lume on there. And that's, you know, that's good to see. That's very good to see for a watch that they expect you to use out and about, outdoors. So yeah, awesome. Okay, so we've gone over the movement, we've gone over some of its quirks, how to set it, we've gone over its measurements and how it wears on the wrist, we've taken a look at the crystal and the lume. So what's my take? Is it worth buying this for 140 bucks? Absolutely, okay, I'm very happy with this purchase. I don't think you can go wrong with $40 with this watch. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer if you're looking for an automatic field watch with a 100 meter water resistance rating and a date complication, but you don't want to spend, you know, 200 bucks. This is just an amazing purchase. Now, I have another very bold statement to make about this watch. I think this Orient Defender could be a Seiko killer. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, Orient is owned by Seiko. Yes, but when you compare this brand's offering to anything Seiko offers in that price range, it's probably going to be a Seiko 5. It's just not going to cut it. Okay, the SNK 809 field watch, that's a lot of people's first automatic watch. You can get it for around, I don't know, $70 to $80 right now. That's a fine watch, and I've reviewed one on this channel. I've given them away on this channel, but it has like a 30 meter water resistance rating, no threaded crown. It has great lume. It's, you know, sub 40 millimeters, very, very wearable. Display case back, has the same movement as the Seiko SKX. It's a solid watch, but if you're looking for something a bit more robust, a bit tougher, something that will instill a little bit more confidence on the wrist and has a bit more functionality, I would say look at the Orient Defender. I honestly think this is a Seiko killer, and this has kind of opened my eyes to Orient as a company. So expect more reviews on this channel, because this was a great entryway to my life as a potential Orient collector. I really do enjoy this watch, but we're going to do a follow-up, because again, this has only been the first few minutes that I've spent with this watch. We'll do another follow-up episode as time goes by, and I'll let you know how I feel about it, but this will absolutely be on my wrist for a good amount of time, day to day, and especially when I go out in the Rubicon and when I go out camping with Connie. This is going to be a very fun watch to wear, I can already tell. Now, you know, it wouldn't be my watch if I didn't make it my own. By upgrading it a little bit, let's go ahead and do that. Look at that. Now that is a proper field watch. Everyone asks me about the strap. It's been on my Tuna, it's been on my SKX. This honestly is a strap that my dad got me when I was little from a surplus Army Navy store back in New England. I do not know who makes it. It is an amazing 22 millimeter single piece strap. I've worn this for decades, and it is like not even fraying at all, not even by the holes. It's amazing. It's just incredible. And I wish I could find who made this strap and just stock up on these, because they're just probably the best single piece NATOs I wear. The proper amount of material I can tuck away, you know, properly. It's amazing. So when it comes to two-piece NATO straps, I pretty much only wear Wrist Candy Watch Club because of the proper length. But when it comes to single-piece NATO straps, whoever made this one did a very, very good job. Let's go ahead and put it on the wrist. Heck yeah, guys. This looks the way an Orient Defender should. It's just a tough looking, badass, easy to read watch. One thing that stood out to me when I put it on the wrist right now, look at how flat it lays. Again, it's like 11 point something millimeters thick. We'll throw up the measurement there, but it won't get hung up on any of my gear. 4 o'clock crown stays out of the way. 6 o'clock date, again, just very easy to read, very intuitive. Sure, there are some quirks, excuse me, like day does not quick set, no hacking or hand wind. But if you look past that and you look at the whole package for $140, this really is a Seiko killer. So guys, again, I'm always here to give you some more options. I talk about Seiko a whole lot on this channel. Well, guess what? I know a lot of you like Orient, and I can tell why. So link in the description below to this watch. I'll carry them at my Amazon store. I'll link them there. And yeah, guys, just amazing. I'm very happy with this purchase, and I'm happy I can share it with you. So stay tuned for the follow-up in a few months. I'll tell you how I feel about it. And so far, I'm very happy. Now, time to jump in the Jeep with this baby. Well, guys, there you have it. My Orient Defender, brand new. And yeah, I already can tell I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this watch. So thank you so much for checking out this review, making this all possible. Again, I can't do anything here at the channel or at the shop without you guys. So if you're watching this, you learned something and you had a good time, consider supporting the channel by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything we do here. Check out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. That's the #1 place to buy affordable vintage luxury watches serviced with a 1-year warranty, hand-picked by me. And again, none of this would be possible without my channel members. Those guys literally directly make it possible for me to go out and buy these watches to review. So special thanks to those guys. You freaking rock. If you want to join the channel, it's like $4.99 a month. It's essentially YouTube's Patreon. You click the join button next to the subscribe button, and yeah, you help me out so much. So guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you think would like it. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it.